What dish was originally intended for the poor and now only the rich have access to? The lobster. Until the 18th century, do you know what the lobster was called? The cockroach of the seas. They were everywhere in the Atlantic and nobody ate them. To be honest, the only people who ate lobster for every meal were the prisoners, because it was cheap. They were boiled and considered disgusting. But at the end of the 19th century, the train that connected the American East and West Coast served passengers by serving lobster on the trips. Then, they rethought the image of lobster, making it an exotic dish and not something disgusting. Success, limitation, overfishing, and scarcity caused prices to explode. Lobsters live up to an estimated 45 to 50 years in the wild, although determining age is difficult. Unlike fish, however, lobster had to be cooked within 2 days of leaving salt water, limiting the availability of lobster to inland dwellers. Thus lobster, more than fish, became a food primarily available to the relatively well-off, at least among non-coastal dwellers. Lobsters require almost 7 years to reach viability as a food source. No fishing enterprise can afford to wait 7 years for their investment to reach market size and only weigh about 1 pound at that point. These cockroaches became upscaled by the 1880s. Growing demand and diminishing lobster supplies during the emerging Industrial Revolution and urbanization of New England transformed this seafood into a well-desired commodity. Other factors that contributed in increasing prices includes harvest of live lobsters, the transportation industry that delivers them to markets and restaurants, those entities that sell lobster to their customers, and the consumers who enjoy them. As lobster supplies have diminished, catching enough to satisfy consumer demand has become more of a challenge. Regulations ensure that smaller lobsters return to the sea to grow. Larger lobsters, considered great breeders, also remain in the water. If not cooked immediately after its death, the lobster meat will become inedible and may make anyone eating it sick. Even waiting a few hours before preparing a dead lobster may lead to a lobster dinner that leaves the diner with a bellyache. This explains the presence of live lobsters in tanks at many markets, fancy grocers, and fancier restaurants.